Eleanor from Revolution. I am here with Alexandre Beauregard, who is the founder of the eponymous brand that he created in 2018 from Canada. He's from Montreal, so you probably won't hear the Canadian accent when he speaks French, not so much in English at least. But I'm actually very excited to be on this third day of the Geneva Watch Days. For those of you who have never heard of Beauregard before, when you created your brand, you introduced a tourbillon watch. But not only was it a tourbillon watch, but you took the position in creating a watch brand that was 100% feminine in order to kind of break the rules of the gender neutral thing. Why did you do that in the first place?
Well, I have a passion for watchmaking, obviously, and another passion for gemstone, for fine stone. And it came naturally when I was drawing to go with a women's watch, because everything I was drawing was very round, very colorful, and you know, it was just a natural way to create. So.
But you didn't do the mistake that many watchmakers make when they create a feminine timepiece per se, is just using a mother of pearl dial and adding a couple of diamonds on the bezel.
Yeah.
So one of the concepts that we really need to emphasize, and if you're obviously we're taking one of the launch of this year, but when you look at the dial, each and every petal is hand carved individually from a rough stone. For this one, the purple is the amethyst. First time you're actually introducing this stone. Very powerful, energetically speaking.
Yes.
But can you actually tell us the whole savoir-faire and technique that requires to make each individual petal, which makes basically the DNA of your brand?
Yeah, it does. Well, we had to create first our tools. Because we need the precision of 200 of a millimeter on each petals, because this is mechanically set. And every petal, every stone is against another stones. So there's no...
it's not glued, it's
No. It's mechanically set, so it needs to be extremely precise. If the stone is too small, it falls, and if it's too big, it breaks.
So it's a system of pressure in between stones that hold them all together.
Yes, you have the outer of the dial, where you have the opening for the petals. You have a 10-degree angle, and you have the same thing on the petals. This is a bit technical. So you
People love that.
Yeah. So you put the petals in, and then you have the gold ring in the middle that has 10 degree also. So when you push it down, you have 4 little holes with feet to put it down. It locks everything into place. But of course, when you do this, if there's one petal that's just a little bit too big, it breaks. So we take it off. At first we had a lot of breakage. Now I'm getting pretty good because I assemble every dial myself. I want to.
So you're constantly in between your atelier in Montreal and flying here to Switzerland.
Yeah, yes.
What a hassle, especially when you launch a watch brand a year before COVID.
We launched in 2018, but it took 4 years to develop the movement with Telos and La Chaux-de-Fonds, because it's not only a tourbillon, it's a flying tourbillon, and it's a central flying tourbillon.
That was, by the way, you were selected as part of the Grand Prix the very same year you launched your company.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, an accomplishment, and congratulations for that. The GPHG, you were also part of it last year, and hopefully next year, with more developments to come.
Absolutely. Well, we were supposed to be in this year, but with production, and I didn't have the piece in my hand, so I didn't want to register and have the risk of, so
Not just like what happened when you just told me before we started the interview that you got to Switzerland with your dials and no cases were available. So there was no watches to create up until a couple of days ago.
Exactly, yeah.
So you had the double sweat from the heat outside and the fact of not having any watches to show during the fair.
But now we're good. We have everything. We have more on the way. So, but yeah, it was.
And how many watches do you create per year?
This year we're going to make 40 watches.
And how can you increase the production in order to deliver more pieces? Because if we go back, and cut me if I'm wrong, but most of the pieces that we create, all the tourbillons are unique pieces.
Yes.
But the two other models which have different dials on it, each of them are made by hand, individually cut, carved, and set. So it makes somehow a unique piece each time.
Yeah.
It increases the difficulty of being able to scale the production
Yes.
and the collection.
Yeah.
But what's your goal within the next 5 years, for example?
I wish to bring the production to 200 pieces a year.
Okay.
In terms of watch, and we have someone new in the shop. There was only me and Yves, and now we have Jeremy with us, who's learning very fast. He's very good. So he did actually this one, the amethyst. He did all the pedals for this one, so you can see the fine work.
As a comparison, you have this one with, it's a little yellowish, orangish.
It's opal, yeah.
Fire opal.
Brazilian opal. Yeah, you have a
fire opal here,
yeah.
Brazilian opal
Yeah.
there, slightly different.
Yeah.
One thing that changed from the Dubai Watch Week when you introduced this specific model is you've added the lugs.
Yes.
What do you do that afterwards?
Well, you know, when you create first the piece of paper, then you do the prototyping, and then when you get the final watch, the final result, and you finally have it on the wrist and you see it, that's the moment when I realized it was not exactly what I hoped for. The fact that the strap was beneath the case was making it like the watch was floating on top of the wrist. So adding the lugs, integrate, do the final integration of the watch on the bracelet. Now the watch is complete. Now I'm honestly.
So now you can move on to the next project.
Yeah, exactly. For the first time, I'm fully satisfied with that watch.
Well, that's a good thing because in the pipeline, I've heard you've had another, another headache in a sense that obviously when you create a brand that's 100% feminine, the next question is like, what are you going to think about men?
Yeah.
And you do have in the pipe
that's from the
masculine
day one,
timepiece.
From the very first time at Basel World when I presented the tourbillon.
Well, already when you say Basel World, we know it's a couple of
years
years
back. Yeah, it's
back.
a couple of years back. And the first person to ask me if I was going to make a watch for men was your father.
Really?
Yeah.
Learning things every day. So now he's going to be able to go back to what you're doing.
We're going to loop.
He's around, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I saw him. He was here earlier today. So yeah, we.
So when do you expect to deliver? At least see the first piece for men, which will be a tourbillon again, obviously, because you go back to the roots.
Yes, we use the same base as the tourbillon for the dahlia, but we're going to go with something, of course, much more masculine, very.
With stones.
With stones, yes, fully set. So that's and it's still gonna.
It's not gonna be.
I'm very excited to show you, but not yet.
not quite yet.
Not quite yet. No.
So what's I mean, the last question, and obviously we have an audience where they do love like the whole like genuine mechanical geek, watch geek, loving all of this, and now we're more into something. I mean, we all do. That's why we do what we do, but. Right now we're more on a fairy tale kind of journey. We're playing with stones and colors, and a lot of you guys may think, well, I'm not interested in this. Well, you should, because to some extent it will be the future, or part of the future of the branch of the watch industry, especially when it comes to stone. Way more men wear stones when it comes to jewelry, but also when you have the dials, from the aventurine to the jasp, or when you see at auctions. How some pieces from Rolexes or old Piaget are all set with what we call ornamental stones. So what would be the, I want to say, 3 stones that you use for men?
Okay, for the one we use the most on the first model we're working on is Peridot.
Which is green?
It's green. And it's because it's not to get the best stone, because of course Tsavorite is a much brighter green, a much nicer green, I would say.
Darker as well.
Darker also. Peridot is a bit on the yellow side, but the thing is to put all those stones together, and so it works together. So sometimes you need to go a shade lighter because it will integrate better with the other colors that I use. So I will use Mexican opal for the reds. Yeah, it's very colorful, the watch.
On yellow gold?
We make one in pink and one in platinum.
Okay.
Yeah, for now to start.
Okay.
And we'll see how it goes. And so yeah, green, the peridot is the stone you see the most on the watch. But then again, you have amethyst, you have fire opal, you have chrysoprase, you have there's a
So
lot.
it's less on the masculine, onyx, dark gray, hematite,
Yeah,
black stones.
but the design it's completely different from the flowers or the candy. It's
or the gemmy bears.
or the Jenny bears exactly. that yeah, it's
Gemmy bears
all
are
connected.
the little like gummy bears we've all had as like candies.
Yeah.
And Alexander created kind of out of a joke, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, exactly.
Some little pendants that you
Yeah.
can buy as like a piece of jewelry. And Ludovic Valois, if I can't say the anecdote, but now I guess it's too
Please.
late.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey,
Asked
Ludo.
you to create some cufflinks with those little gemmy bears.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
you
'cause
actually planning to make a collection of those?
I guess yeah, I've had a few demands, so we're gonna produce a few pairs, hopefully, and yeah. So yeah, the Jamie Bears. I think people can see it's all connected. It's the same universe. It's
Your
yeah,
DNA, your passion
exactly.
for stones and
Yeah,
colors,
yeah.
and make the world a more colorful place because that's what we love and we strive for.
Yeah. And you know the story about the Jamie Bear because every year for now 15 years almost I go to Tucson in Arizona to buy the stones, as you
Yep,
know.
I do know.
And of course everyone goes there. Everyone who works with stone is going to Tucson, Arizona. And every evening we get together, we have lunch, and we show what we bought. And we show, oh, look at what I found. And those little gems, they always look like candy. So everyone says, oh, look, it looks like a little candy. So one year, just for fun, I made a Gemmy Bears, passed it around the table, and of course the reaction were.
How many hours did it take you to actually carve from
The first
say-
one?
Yeah.
The first one, it took a few days. Yeah.
And now you managed to do just like one day?
A little better even, yeah.
So if we start like this, so you start
Yeah.
with the actual
Yeah, with a
piece
block.
of stone, the block,
Yeah.
you carve it to some extent, then it goes down to something more polished,
Yeah.
and from some more polished, you manage to create something like this.
Yeah.
How many stages? Like how many?
We don't count. We don't. You know, people ask me how
When
long.
you love, you don't count.
No, but I get that question a lot. How long does it take to make a watch? The thing is, let's say we do the amethyst. So we have the rough stones, and of course we don't make only one dial because you need to match the colors, and this is extremely challenging. Yeah. So you get the rough stones that already they are selected. So this is a AAA top grade amethyst. This is as good as it gets. So you have these, and then in amethyst you have plain. So sometimes you have a line, and on the left side it's white, on the other side it's a very powerful color. So you have to select, you have to slice. You lose 90% of the stone. When you select, when you work, because even when you just slice it, we do slice of let's say 3 millimeter, and the blade with the vibration you lose 1 millimeter, so 25% right off the top. And
Hence the increase of pricing, and people don't just like, oh yeah, that stone's actually pretty cheap. Yeah, but you need large quantity in order to make it.
and it's the work,
Yeah, it's true.
the work involved, the time. It's very time consuming.
But when you love, you don't count.
Exactly.
Remember that.
Yeah. So we prepare everything, and we make let's say we need 50 petals for a watch. We will make 300, 400 of them, and then we match the colors. So we have that dial. We have maybe 2 or 3 more that we can do with the same batch of stones. So how long does it take for one? You know, you never do just one because it's
You know what?
impossible.
For the remaining petals, you can just set them
Yeah.
with like a small pendant, and there will be an additional collection
Yeah,
of pendants.
Yeah, we need more projects. No, we don't. That's
We need more time. No, we
yeah,
can't.
yeah, yeah. No, that's enough. That's
Well, thank you
we're
very
good.
much
Thank you.
for everything. Good luck.
Thanks.
I hope the next headache is not going to be a lugs, a diamond, or a stone problem, but
It's always
everything that
it's challenges
challenging.
and it's
That's how you
fun.
learn.
Exactly, and that's the fun of it. That's the we're always now. Of course, I need to slow down a bit because we have 4 collection in 4 years. It's a lot, yeah. So now we need to.
But it's a nice problem to have.
It is. It is.
So, well, thank you very much, Alexander,
Thank
and
you.
we'll be back with more stories, more news, and more updates.